This isn't science fiction. Every creature you're about to see is real.
Welcome to the hidden civilization beneath your feet. A civilization almost no one ever notices. Millions of tiny workers already awake, each with a mission.
The tiny wonders of the world's ants. Every day, you walk over millions of tiny lives, yet you never notice them. To us, they seem insignificant, but together, they built one of Earth's greatest civilizations. They have developed organized cities, complex roads, dedicated farmers, soldiers, builders, and nurses. They have no king, no president, and no commander. Yet, everything works perfectly. How do they achieve this flawless coordination without a single leader? Scientists estimate there are over 20 quadrillion ants alive on Earth right now. That is about 2.5 million ants for every single human on Earth. Together, their collective biomass easily rivals all of Earth's wild mammals combined. They are tiny and weak individually, but incredibly powerful when moving collectively. And they have been doing this for over 140 million years. While ancient dinosaurs vanished and human empires collapsed, the ants just kept working. Their ultimate secret to survival is not sheer strength, but flawless cooperation. One single ant knows very little, but the entire colony knows everything. Together, they behave as if they are one giant, living superorganism. This is only the beginning. Let us discover the secrets of their hidden civilization. Ants don't speak. They don't make plans. Yet somehow, everything works. Their incredibly complex language is completely invisible to us. A single microscopic drop can guide thousands of eager workers. They use no maps and no GPS, relying purely on chemistry. Every single antenna carefully reads the chemical road ahead. Just one tiny scout changes everything for the entire colony. Only minutes later, a massive wave of reinforcements arrive. The stronger the chemical scent, the heavier the traffic becomes. Every successful round trip makes the trail even stronger. This continues until the food source is completely gone. How does a colony choose the best path? The shortest path wins, without anyone giving orders. Millions of tiny decisions become one smart answer. Modern scientists call this fascinating collective behavior emergence. No leader, no commander, yet together they create one of nature's greatest intelligences. Humans invented farming about 12,000 years ago, but these ants did it over 60 million years ago. Every single leaf they carry has a vital and specific purpose. But surprisingly, these industrious creatures do not actually eat the leaves. Instead, the leaves are used to feed something far more valuable. A living underground farm, safely hidden deep beneath the rainforest floor. This cultivated fungus is their primary food source and their entire future. Within this highly organized society, every single worker has a specific job. Some cut the foliage, some carry, some farm, while others protect. In this subterranean kingdom, absolutely no one ever works alone. Working together, they efficiently harvest resources from the entire rainforest canopy. Deep in the dark, the massive queen never leaves the safety of the nest. Her sole, vital purpose is to produce the colony's next generation. While she reigns, thousands of workers build and maintain everything else. Every individual ant selflessly sacrifices its entire life for the colony's survival. Together, they have created one of Earth's oldest and most successful agricultural civilizations. High above the forest floor, another incredible civilization is hard at work. These are the remarkable weaver ants, celebrated as nature's ultimate master architects. Their intricate leaf homes do not grow on trees. They become part of them. Everything begins with incredible teamwork as workers cooperate to bend tough green leaves. No single ant could ever accomplish this monumental task entirely on their own. Now comes the most difficult and seemingly impossible part of their construction process. The adult workers do not make silk. Instead, their tiny babies do. The workers hold and use their larvae exactly like living sewing machines. Thread by thread, the hanging nest gradually takes shape as a secure chamber. No tools or machines are used, relying only on perfect, coordinated cooperation. Deep inside the completed nest, a brand new generation of the colony begins. Every leaf nest protects the future of the colony from predators and rain. High above the forest floor, vigilant soldier ants watch over their leafy territory. Their magnificent city thrives safely high up among the wet rainforest leaves. They are master builders and perfect engineers, all smaller than your fingertip. Most ants build nests. Army ants build an empire on the move. Day after day, they never stop their relentless marching. Millions of individuals moving together as one massive force. Absolutely nothing escapes their rapid and terrifying advance. Every individual worker knows its precise and vital role. Together, they become one unstoppable, living machine. No commander, no battlefield, only pure and perfect instinct. The entire rainforest quickly senses that they are coming. But where exactly do they sleep at night? They build not with soil, but with themselves. a structural fortress made entirely of living bodies. Tomorrow, they will break camp and march again. One ant is fragile, but 1,000,000 are unstoppable. Not because they are stronger, but because they never work alone. Army ants teach us that unity is nature's greatest force. But next, meet the fastest jaws on Earth. Hidden beneath fallen leaves waits one of nature's fastest hunters. Its weapon is already armed, ready to strike without a second of hesitation. It does not bite slowly. Instead, it fires like a triggered spring. The strike is so incredibly fast that standard cameras cannot capture its movement. This is one of the fastest movements in the entire animal kingdom. It happens much faster than your eyes can ever hope to follow. This immense power is stored deep within its jaw, like a coiled spring. These jaws do not just hunt, they also save lives in danger. Sometimes, the ant launches itself high into the air to escape. It is an incredible escape tactic, completely powered by pure physical laws. Nature turned tiny, microscopic muscles into a magnificent, flawless mechanical masterpiece. Every single movement is perfectly engineered by millions of years of evolution. They are tiny, incredibly precise, and deadly efficient in their natural habitat. This is proof that greatness is never measured by physical size alone. Yet somewhere nearby, another ant carries a weapon far more painful than speed. Deep inside the Amazon rainforest walks one of the most formidable and largest ants. Measuring nearly 3 centimeters long, this insect is a true giant among ants. It moves with a calm and patient gait, always alert to nearby dangers. This giant possesses a defensive weapon whose sting has become legendary across the globe. The famous entomologist Justin Schmidt ranked its sting as the most painful on Earth. Victims describe the sensation as a terrifying wave of intense, burning physical pain. Fortunately, these massive creatures rarely choose to sting unless they are directly threatened. Like every member of this complex society, this ant lives entirely for its colony. Workers, soldiers, and nurses function together smoothly as one giant, unified family. The survival of every new generation depends entirely on the health of their queen. This powerful venom was never meant to frighten or harm passing human beings. The venom exists purely to help this species survive in a hostile jungle. Even the most terrifying weapons in nature serve a very specific, defensive purpose. In this wilderness, sheer physical strength without close teamwork means absolutely nothing. From lightning-fast jaws to deadly stings, how do tiny ants lift 50 times their weight? A single ant can carry dozens of times its own body weight. To us, such extreme feats of physical strength seem completely impossible. But nature plays by a completely different set of biological rules. As animals scale down, their muscles become highly efficient relative to weight. Their delicate bodies are protected by an incredibly lightweight external skeleton. A tiny body, massive power, combined with near-perfect evolutionary design. And when a single worker cannot lift the load, another quickly joins. Soon, dozens of individuals work together seamlessly as a single superorganism. But strength alone is not enough. Balance and precision matter just as much. Every movement is carefully coordinated, adapting instantly to any physical obstacle. There is no shouting, no commands, only silent, chemical-based cooperation. Their greatest strength isn't physical muscle. It is absolute, unwavering teamwork. Millions of tiny, individual efforts build a truly extraordinary empire. Perhaps that is why these creatures have survived for over 140 million years. For greatness is never measured by size, but by the power of unity. How? A single worker ant can carry dozens of times its own body weight with absolute ease. To us, this spectacular display of raw, natural strength seems completely impossible. But nature operates by a very different set of physical rules. As animals shrink in size, their muscles become incredibly efficient relative to their weight. Their small bodies are protected and supported by an incredibly strong, lightweight external skeleton. Tiny body, massive power, and a perfect design honed by millions of years. And when one ant cannot lift the load, another instantly joins the effort. Soon, dozens of them are working smoothly as a single, unstoppable force. But raw strength alone is never enough. Precise balance and alignment matter too. Every single micro-movement is carefully and silently coordinated in real time. There is no shouting, no commands, only silent and highly effective cooperation. Their greatest strength isn't muscle. It is their flawless, legendary teamwork. Millions of tiny, tireless efforts build something truly extraordinary deep underground. Perhaps that is why these creatures have survived for over 100 million years. Every colony is living proof that greatness is never measured by size. A single ant can carry dozens of times its own body weight. To us humans, lifting such immense weight seems completely impossible. But nature plays by entirely different physical rules. As animals become smaller, their muscles become more efficient relative to their weight. Their tiny bodies are protected by a lightweight, incredibly strong external skeleton. Tiny body, massive power, and a perfect design for survival. And when one ant cannot lift it alone, another quickly joins the effort. Soon, dozens of individuals work together as a single, unstoppable force. But physical strength alone is not enough. Spatial balance matters just as much. Every precise movement is carefully coordinated across the entire group. No shouting, no command structures, only perfect instinctual cooperation. Their greatest source of power is not raw muscle, it is teamwork. Has. Millions of tiny, continuous efforts combine to build something truly extraordinary. Perhaps that is why ants have successfully survived for over 140 million years. Every colony is proof that greatness is never measured by size. Hidden among millions of harmless spores waits one extraordinary fungus. This extraordinary fungus doesn't hunt. Instead, it patiently waits. One tiny spore is enough to begin an incredible journey. Slowly, the fungus grows inside its host. The ant still walks, still works, but something has changed. The infected ant leaves its colony, walking alone away from the nest, toward a place chosen by the fungus. At exactly the right height, the ant locks its jaws onto the leaf. This unique and irreversible action is what scientists call the death grip. There, the fungus continues its life cycle. Soon, new spores are released into the forest. Not to destroy the ants, but to balance their numbers. In the intricate web of life, even these fascinating parasites have a crucial purpose. Every element plays a role. Thus, nature depends on balance, not perfection. Smallest organisms shape ecosystems. Beyond, another ant mastered nature's greatest feat, farming. Every day, millions of tiny workers march through the rainforest, carrying pieces of leaves. At first, it looks like they're collecting food. But the leaves are never eaten. Deep beneath the forest lies their secret. A living fungus garden. The leaves feed the fungus. The fungus feeds the colony. A partnership that has lasted for millions of years. Some workers harvest, others garden, others protect. Every ant has a job. Even tiny workers ride on the leaves. Each one protects the harvest. Humans invented farming about 12,000 years ago. Leafcutter ants started millions of years earlier. Their farms never stop growing. Without machines, without tractors, without technology, only teamwork, patience, and 140 million years of evolution. Yet, one final mystery remains. Look, almost anywhere on Earth, and chances are, ants are already there. More than 14,000 known species, thousands more may still remain undiscovered. Together, they have colonized almost every ecosystem. Some live beneath burning deserts. Others climb misty mountains where temperatures drop near freezing. Many build cities beneath our own feet. No king, no president, no central command. Only G, communication, cooperation, and G, and trust. Every ant knows exactly what to do. No one sees the whole picture, yet the colony always works. Scientists estimate there may be around 20 quadrillion ants alive today. That means roughly 2.5 million ants for every human on Earth. Tiny individually, planet-changing together. Without ants, many forests would never be the same. For 140 million years, they survived. The greatest civilization was always theirs. Hidden beneath the forest floor, two civilizations have battled for millions of years. Ants and termites. One is a hunter. The other is a builder. The leafcutter ant, a marvel of organization, journeys through the rainforest. These industrious insects carrying inside, millions of workers work without stopping. Then, the scouts arrive. A scent returns to the colony. Within minutes, thousands are marching. Not chaos, strategy. The termites seal every entrance. Soldiers move forward first. Neither side stands alone. Beneath the golden sun, a tiny kingdom thrives, its complex life a testament to nature's enduring power. At noon, when the desert becomes hot enough to cook an egg, most animals hide. But one tiny explorer comes alive. Its world can reach 70 degrees Celsius on the sand. Every second matters. The longer it stays outside, the greater the danger. It searches alone. No pheromone trail. No guide. Yet somehow, it always finds its way home. Desert ants can detect patterns of polarized light, invisible to us. They also count their steps. Distance, direction, position, calculated every moment. Sounds of the desert wind and faint. Even its body reflects the sun. Tiny silver hairs help keep it cool. Against all odds, it returns to the colony. Every single time. No compass, no map, only evolution. But even the smartest ant cannot match the army ant. At first, it looks like a moving shadow. Then, you realize it's alive. Hundreds of thousands march as one. There is no leader giving orders, yet every ant knows its role. Scouts find prey. The signal spreads instantly. Within minutes, the forest floor begins to move. Spiders, beetles, cockroaches. Everything moves aside. The soldiers guard the edges of the swarm. Workers carry every discovery home. No traffic jams, no confusion, only perfect coordination. But where do army ants live? They don't build nests. They build themselves into one. A living fortress. Tomorrow, they will move again. The rainforest is their home. No walls, no permanent city, only millions of living decisions working as one. High above the rainforest floor, another civilization is hard at work. Their homes don't stand on branches, they grow from them. Every nest begins with teamwork. One ant cannot bend a leaf. Hundreds can. Each ant becomes a tiny living rope. Slowly, the leaves begin to close. But how do they hold everything together? The answer comes from their babies. Larvae produce fine silk that stitches the leaves together. No machine, no glue, only living silk. One colony may build dozens of nests. Each one serves a different purpose. Together, they create an aerial city. These tiny engineers protect their trees from many plant-eating insects. Built without tools, perfected through evolution. Yet, another ant has mastered farming.
Across the rainforest, a green river never stops flowing. Each ant carries a leaf far larger than itself. But here's the surprise. They never eat the leaves. Deep underground, an entire farm is waiting.
Workers chew the leaves into tiny pieces. Then, they feed something far more valuable. A fungus becomes their crop. This living food is essential for survival. Without this vital crop, the entire colony cannot survive. The fungus feeds millions of hungry mouths. However, even these perfect farms can sometimes become infected. The vigilant workers notice any sign of trouble, reacting immediately.
They fight disease using natural antibiotics.
Humans began farming around 12,000 years ago. These ants were farming 50 million years before.
Tiny farmers, demonstrating ancient wisdom and perfect cooperation.
No tractors, no machines, only instinct, refined across millions of years. The rain has stopped. The air is warm. The moment has arrived.
For years, she has waited for this day.
Today, she leaves home forever.
Thousands take flight at once.
The sky fills with new beginnings.
High above the forest, the future of countless colonies is decided. The queen mates only once, yet that single flight gives her a lifetime of life.
She carries everything needed to build an empire.
But first, she must survive.
Her wings have served their purpose.
Now she digs with her own strength. Inside the darkness, she waits and lays her first eggs.
Weeks later, the first workers arrive. A colony is born.
One flight, one queen, one hidden chamber. From this may rise millions of ants. And yet even this...
Hidden deep below the forest floor, a queen lays a single egg. It seems fragile, almost lifeless, cradled in the dark earth. But inside, millions of cells are already building a future. Soon, the egg opens. A tiny larva emerges. It cannot walk, and it cannot feed itself in this underground world. Every meal comes directly from its sisters, who watch over it endlessly. Then, a profound transformation begins, and everything changes within the nursery. Wrapped in silence, the vulnerable larva officially becomes a pupa. Legs, eyes, and powerful mandibles, everything slowly takes shape under the shell. Finally, the delicate outer shell breaks open to reveal new life.
Its newborn body is soft, its color almost entirely white.
Within just a few hours, its protective armor darkens and hardens. Now, its lifelong journey of tireless service to the colony begins.
Every ant has a job. Every job keeps the colony alive.
From one egg comes a worker, building a colony whose ultimate strength is communication. No voices, no shouting, no commands. Yet, millions of them move together in perfect harmony. Their language cannot be heard. Instead, it must be smelled to be understood. A single chemical drop can change the direction of thousands of marching workers. When one scout finds food, the entire colony knows within a few minutes. Soon, workers arrive from every direction, following the chemical path with absolute precision. The stronger the pheromone trail becomes, the more ants are drawn to follow. But these chemicals are only one part of their incredibly complex communication story. With every touch of their antennae, vital information is shared instantly between nestmates.
They recognize friend or stranger, worker or queen, and even the healthy from sick. Suddenly, a critical danger appears near their busy trail, demanding an immediate response. A single alert worker releases a powerful alarm chemical into the humid forest air. Just seconds later, the colony responds as formidable soldier ants rush to defend them.
There is no king, no general, and no commander directing their daily actions.
Only millions of tiny chemical messages, forming a single shared decision for the superorganism.
Together they survive. But what happens when millions of nests unite into one super colony? Imagine walking for days, yet never leaving the same ant colony. For most ants, every neighboring colony is an immediate enemy. But these ants don't fight their neighbors, because they are their neighbors. Thousands of nests, millions of queens, billions of workers.
Together, they behave like one single, giant superorganism.
Food flows where it's needed. Workers move freely between nests. Originally from South America, they traveled the world alongside humans.
Today, they live on almost every single continent.
Where they arrive, native ant species often completely disappear. Why don't these billions of ants fight each other? Because they share nearly the exact same chemical identity. To them, millions of complete strangers are family. Not one nest, not one queen, but one massive civilization.
Perhaps the largest cooperative society ever built by insects.
But elsewhere, another ant has evolved a weapon faster than a blink. Hidden among fallen leaves, waits one of Earth's fastest hunters.
Its jaws remain locked, open, waiting.
Like a spring under enormous pressure. A tiny insect moves too close, unaware of the danger.
One touch changes everything as fate seals its path. Snap. Faster. Then, the blink of an eye.
But those jaws have another secret.
And threatened, they can launch themselves into the air. A distinct, tiny thud marks the ant's forceful interaction with the ground.
The ground becomes a launching pad. Dramatic percussion builds slowly with slow motion effects.
No muscles could move this fast alone.
Nature uses stored energy. Instead, a marvel of biomechanics, tiny body, extraordinary physics, a true testament to natural design.
Millions of years of evolution compressed into one perfect snap. One of the fastest movements ever measured in an animal.
Not the biggest, not the strongest, but perhaps the fastest.
At noon, the desert becomes an oven. The sand can exceed 60 degrees Celsius. Most creatures hide deep underground. But one tiny runner emerges. Its body shines like polished silver. Those tiny hairs reflect the sun's intense heat. Its long legs lift its body away from the burning sand.
In this deadly heat, every precious second truly matters for survival. It searches for insects, those not fast enough to escape the deadly heat. A meal must be found before the desert becomes fatal.
But how does it find its way home across this endless sea of sand? Remarkably, it reads the polarized patterns of the sky. It counts its steps. It remembers every turn. No map, no landmarks, yet it returns with astonishing accuracy. A survivor forged by one of Earth's harshest environments. Where others see death, this ant finds opportunity. Beneath the rainforest lies a hidden farm. But the farmers are never alone. Every leaf they carry feeds something they cannot live without. The fungus feeds the colony. The colony protects the fungus. But another partner is hiding in plain sight. Tiny bacteria live upon their skin, an invisible army providing protection. So small they're invisible, yet they defend an entire civilization. Sometimes danger arrives from within, as another fungus invades. The workers detect the threat immediately, initiating a swift defense. Together, ants and their bacteria fight back, protecting their precious garden. This partnership is older than human civilization. Generation after generation, the alliance survives.
Each partner depends entirely on the others, forming one complex system.
Success doesn't always belong to the strongest. It belongs to those who cooperate.
3 species, 1 future, 1 shared survival.
For 50 million years, this tiny partnership flourished. High above, another colony builds impossible living bridges. Every day, hundreds of thousands of army ants march through the rainforest, never stopping, searching for food without a permanent home.
Until the forest blocks their path. No wood, no stone, no problem. One ant holds another, then another.
Soon, their bodies become a bridge.
The bridge changes shape as traffic changes. More traffic means more builders. When fewer ants pass, the bridge shrinks. Every ant holding the bridge gives up its own journey. They become part of something greater.
One body means little. Thousands change the forest.
No architect, no engineer, no commander.
Only simple rules creating astonishing design. When the colony moves on, the bridge simply walks away. Nothing remains but memory. High above the forest floor, a different kind of farm comes alive.
These aren't crops, they're livestock.
And the ants are their ranchers. A gentle tap with an antenna. A tiny drop of honeydew appears. Sweet, rich, full of energy. The ants don't just collect, they protect. A ladybug approaches. Instantly, the guards respond. Sometimes, the pasture runs out.
So the ants move their herd.
A fresh home, a fresh food supply. For millions of years, this partnership has endured. Tiny farmers, tiny herds, extraordinary success. Nature proves once again that intelligence isn't measured by size. Yet somewhere deep beneath every colony has a border, invisible to us, obvious to them. One scout crosses the line. Its scent doesn't belong. Within seconds, an alarm spreads through the colony. No voices, No commands, only chemistry.
Soldiers arrive. Mandibles ready.
The intense interaction commences. Thousands move as one.
Every worker has a role.
Food, territory, survival.
Winning means another season of life.
Losing may mean starting again. Silence returns. The forest moves on. But the colony remembers. Every trail rewritten. Every border renewed.
For ants, war is never about glory, only survival. Elsewhere, a queen prepares for her most important flight.
After the rain, the forest comes alive. Tonight, everything will change.
Young queens wait beside winged males.
For many, this will be their first and last flight.
High above the forest, queens and males meet in the air.
One brief moment changes everything. The queen stores enough sperm for a lifetime. Now she lands, alone, no workers, no protection.
Her wings have served their purpose. She will never fly again. She digs a tiny underground room.
Inside, she waits in silence.
Soon, the first eggs appear. She feeds the larvae with her own stored energy.
Weeks later, the first workers arrive. An empire is born. Every colony began this way. One queen, one chamber, one impossible dream. They live on every continent except Antarctica. Almost everywhere life exists.
Millions of colonies. Trillions upon trillions of lives.
Each one small, together unstoppable.
They dig,
Build.
recycle, transform. Their tunnels help air and water reach the soil.
Some forests grow because ants carry their seeds.
Frozen mountains, burning deserts, dense jungles. They adapt again and again.
More than 14,000 species are known, and scientists continue to discover new ones. Evolution never stopped. From the deep rainforest to hidden underground cities, ants' collective
No ant builds an empire alone.
strength comes from cooperation.
Tiny actions, repeated millions of times, change the world.
Perhaps the greatest civilizations are not the loudest. They are the most connected. For 100 million years, ants show how tiny lives leave a giant legacy.
The next time you see an ant, remember Earth's greatest success story. Thank you.